class. This is lecture 2. I know earlier in the week we talked about cyberbullying, and I told you we are going to get to some actual software. Last week we talked about social media, and then this week I'm going to lecture through on how to use some software related to Google Classroom. The reason I think this is helpful, there's going to be assignments throughout this year, I imagine, in all your classes where you're going to have to use something related to Google. They're trying to keep it all within one website, one software, to keep it all unified, to make it simple for both students, teachers, and parents. So I thought it'd be helpful as we get into this to go ahead and lecture through and talk through how is it that we use Google, not Google Classroom, but Google Slides. Google Slides is a portion that can be used, it's a software that can be used within Google Classroom. And I thought I'd just take you step by step. That way, if you need to make presentations or anything of that nature in class, then you already have a step ahead and you can use that. Many of you guys already know and have used Keynote and things of that nature. This is going to just add to the things that you know in regards to that. It's very similar to Keynote or very similar to PowerPoint if you've used that before. That's Microsoft's version. Google Slides is one that you can use, and the nice benefit, whereas if you use Keynote or if you use PowerPoint, one of the things that you have to do, for example, if you're using a PC and you're using PowerPoint and you want to open that up, you'll need to export that into PDF format. You'll need to export that into a certain format in order to use that on Apple computers. Likewise, if you're on Apple and you're using Keynote, you're going to have to export that so that you'll be able to use that as a PowerPoint slide presentation on a PC. So they don't communicate well with each other. There are ways to do it. You have to export it into the correct format, because if you try to open it up on the others, they're not going to allow you to do that. It's mainly because they want to be exclusive to their own softwares. So they make it so you have to do additional steps in order to do that. Well, the nice thing about Google is no matter what, because it's a web-based software, no matter what PC or Mac that you're using or whatever type of computer that you're using, you're able, if you have access to Google, to see these presentations. So it's friendly with all type of computer software. You can use it wherever you're going. So now I'm going to walk you guys through how to use the software. I'm going to try to take you step by step through it. Now, obviously, there's more stuff that we can go through this, but I think this is a good introduction for you guys on how to use it. And I think it'll prepare you as you guys are going to create Google Slides within our class this semester. Okay, guys, I'm going to walk you through using Google Slides. I'm going to take you step by step through this. I think it's a helpful process. What you'll need to do is log into Google just like you previously did, and then it's how you get to Google Classroom every single time. If you're not using the apps, then this is how you do it. Well, once you log in, if you'll go to these 9 dots here in the upper right hand corner, click on this. Then here you're going to have all your apps. This is where you get access to email. This is also your Google Drive if you need to store anything. Google Classroom, this is how you access that. Google Documents if you need to write a paper. Sheets, this is similar to Numbers or Excel if you need it. We've used this previously. And then Slides, this is the one we're going to use today. Google Calendar, this is if you're trying to set meetings or want to sort of plan ahead. It's like a digital calendar for you. It's very helpful. You have chat here. You have Google Meet, Google Plus, Sites, Contacts, and so on. So if you don't see the one that you need here, because Google kind of defaults these to the ones that you use the most, like for example, I use up to calendars and everything else. Don't use that frequently. Sometimes they organize in different ways. But anyway, if you don't see Google Slides here, you may have to scroll down. And once you scroll down, you should see some options there. There's also more from G Suite Marketplace. You can click on that as well to pull everything up. So what we'll do is go ahead and click on Slides. Now, once we get here, you're going to see a bunch of different stuff. You'll see here some categories right at the top. And at the categories, if you click on Template Gallery, now it may default you over to First Baptist Academy, which we don't have any templates there. It's going to be completely blank. But if you click over to General, here are different categories. So let's say you're wanting to make a presentation for a class, and you want to go ahead and have the template set up. You don't want to have to create it from scratch. You can create those from scratch if you want to, but just for ease, you can use these. These are very helpful. They look professional. If you're wanting to create your own from scratch, a good place if you need backgrounds, pictures, if you go to unsplash.com, if you guys remember, we've been to that website before. It's a great place to download pictures to use. They're professional grade pictures. But here they already have it structured. They have the fonts and everything that you want. And you can just see how these are set up. So let's go back, and what we're going to do, let's go ahead and select, I'm trying to see which one I want to do here. Let me look. We'll do a recipe name, a recipe book here. So let's say I'm doing a presentation, and now I'm going to click templates, and it's going to create all these different images for me. Now it's going to have default information in there. So what you're going to have to do is delete that information. But it'll start off and put all these in here for you if you're going to be using the template. Now, let me show you something else before we move on. You may be thinking, I don't want to have all this structure in here, and I want to actually create it from scratch. So if we go back one, just to Google Slides, and then go back to back there, and then go to blank. So even if you create one blank and you don't want to have the template used, if we go here, you can still select themes. So if you look, you could either click up here for themes, or you can go through here and scroll. So let's say I want to use this theme right here. Click on that. Now, there's a lot of different things that you can do with this. Now, you can obviously move this around. So you can put this anywhere you want. All you have to do is click on it. So we'll say Mr. Holland's presentation. Now, once you have that part down, there's a lot of stuff you could do with this as well. And you could call this computer class. So now we've got both of these in here. So this is not everything that you can do, but let's just say we'll start with this. So first thing you want to do is click on this. And now if you click on, let me close this out real quick, and then click here, and you can animate. So if you click on the three dots there, you click animate. Now it's going to pull that screen back up. Now watch this. You can select fade in, fly in, disappear, any of these things, and whatever one you have highlighted, like I have the Mr. Holland's presentation highlighted, I can click disappear. Now we'll say I want to animate this guy too. So you click on add animation. What I want to do is fly out to the top. So now I've got both of these in here so that these two are going to be animated. So then I can go to my next slide. All I need to do is click on this, or the first, click on the very first slide. And what you can do, it'll say, do you want to add a new slide, a duplicate slide? Well, if you want it to look identical, you just click a duplicate, and then you can click on this slide and change everything in this. Say slide number 2. And then you can do, we'll do slide 2 there. And then if you want to remove these from this particular one, we'll hit the garbage can on that. Click the screen there, garbage can on that one. But let's say we still want to add some type of animation. So let's click add animation. And now we want to spin it in. And now we want for this one, also add animation again. We want this one to zoom out. So now we've used the same template. They look identical here. But let's say we want to create a new slide for the very next one. Click on new slide. And there we go. I clicked on, okay, there we go. And we want to change the layout a little bit. So once you do, click on new, and let's change it to this way. So now we have a different look. That way our presentation's not looking like the same every single slide. And then you can add Mr. Holland is the freshest. This is certainly true. Now, you're not bound to this font. You're not bound to just the way this looks. There's a lot of different things you can change around with this. Let's close this bad boy out here. Here we can change our font. If we want it to be something else, make it more impactful. Maybe you want to make it larger. We can change that. Maybe you want to, we'll center this. Now it's centered. Maybe we want to put it towards the middle. Let's put it towards the middle. So how I clicked on those and did that. You here also, if you guys remember our shortcut keys, if you hit Command or Control and U, now it's underlined, and Control B is now it's bold. And maybe I want to move this to the center as well. So now, just like previous, if I want to add some animation to these guys, let's click on this one. We click on our three dots here, click on Animate, and then we go and we want to add our animation. So the previous ones were already there, so let's go ahead and select on it again. Add a new animation, garbage can, the last one. I don't want fade, sorry. So I keep closing that off. Let's make it fly from the bottom up. And then let's make this one fly from the bottom in. Okay, so now we've got a couple slides here. You can change backgrounds, you can change the look of it altogether. You can keep adding slides. So if you have a presentation that you have to do in class and you don't have access to Keynote, we can still do all those very simply. And all you have to do, once you get this finished, you can hit play. Let's check this bad boy out first. Let's go to the top here. Let me stop, sorry. You can check each slide out. You're gonna have to do those individually, but let's check them out. So here, now click on the actual screen. Whoa, disappeared. Now they're back. Okay, so now let's click on this one, test this bad boy out. Spin him. Oh, he disappeared too. Now final slide here. Go to stop. Check out this final slide. Play. See, very, very easy to do. You can make it look professional. It will help you with getting grades well. Here is one additional thing that I think will be helpful. Let's close this out once again. Let me move this over a little bit here. Once you get these completed, you need to be able to export these. Let me change this real quick. There we go. So this is your entire presentation. Now, once you're finished with this presentation, you need to be able to send that to your teacher or whoever it may be. You can hit share here and then share it with whoever you need to do that. Or you can, another way you can do that is just go to File. You can publish it or share it here as well. Whatever you want to do, you can download it if you want to save it on your computer just to make sure. But there's a lot of different benefits and ways that you can actually do this. And it makes it very helpful, especially since we're using Google Classroom, on how to use this information. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys face to face again.